Alright guys, today's shave, same gear. Midnight Stag from Chiseled face. I've got the matching splash and the matching EDP. And this is the older label. And I won it at an auction and I'm proud to be enjoying it this month. The Omega 011842, which is the Jade Connaught, the Faux Jade handle here from Connaught Shaving. And it's got a nice wide knot relative to many bores, and it's fairly short, and so these bristles have a good bit of give, and so this shorter loft here, that's really nice because the other Omegas have much taller, and I don't like the way they lag around. And so this is, I think, going to give about as good of an Omega experience as I'm going to enjoy. And so I'm looking forward to giving more uses to him. And we're doing that this month in August. I couldn't find my Smoke Owners Club. That's the one I wanted to use, but I couldn't find it because of a move. And then we have the Karve Christopher Bradley with the B plate, 3 1/4 inch handle, Gladius, and it's the brass, obviously. And we will be putting my Nacet blade in it. And we got the etching there to kind of show you it's the same blade. And why am I showing you that it's the same blade? Well, because this blade is not your standard blade. I've used this guy about 400, and this might be 418 times. You can look in the text description to see the exact amount. I'm off by 1 if I'm off. I need to synchronize my little paper here. 300 plus 400 here, and then that many right there is what we've done so far. But I may have missed a dot. Okay, so this guy's in there, and just wanted to say I've been traveling lately with family, and to visit family, that sort of thing, with my kids, and I really enjoyed this kind of case because I'm able to keep another plate in here in case I want to choose some different plates. I keep the head up here and the handle right here. And one nice thing that I didn't see about it is that when it's closed, you can still see which razor it is. And so if you're traveling with multiple razors, it's nice to be able to see which one it is. And then also, lastly, it's nice to be able to put the blade in here and close it down when traveling, like from your room to the bathroom, that sort of thing, because it is magnetized right here. And so it keeps the blade conveniently right there. It protects it while you're walking around the house. And I do have the splash and the EDP. I already told you about that. So I think we're ready to go. I've got the 40 milliliters of water here, and I'm not exactly sure what I want to do today. Let's just go down. Let's keep reducing, because the other day I did a 7-second load. Let's try a 6-second load today. We've got kind of moisture momentum here. Because we're using this soap every day, it's maintaining some moisture in here. It makes it easier to pick up the soap. And so in the beginning, a 10-second load might be what you need to do if this has been sitting around for a while. But now that we're using it every day, that moisture is going to be there for us to help us out, and so that we can reduce the time. Okay. Yep, the blade's in the razor. I'm going to shake a lot of the moisture out of the brush because it holds a good bit in there. And what did I say? Yeah, 6 seconds. Okay. So when that 0 rolls around right there, okay, there we go. All right, there's a little bit here that's drippy. I'm gonna let that drip into the bowl here, the lather bowl. And so in that sense, it's a little bit more than 6 seconds, but I mean, that's a realistic amount, right? Because when you load, you're gonna have that little bit left over, right? All right. So here is how it looks in the bowl as we're starting off. Just a little bit of wet soap in there, not very much, but it will turn into a nice bit of lather. So I just reduced it from 1 second. The last time I shaved with it Oh no, you know what I did last time? I scooped it. But the time before that, I used 7 seconds. So now I'm trying 6. So our goal here is simply to mix the water in the brush with the soap that was in the brush. I'm going to plunge down pretty hard a couple times because I want to push that soap up near the root of the bristles to get to the water that is at the root there. I don't want that water to surprise me later and kind of flush out my lather. And once I do that, then I am not going to be pressing very hard anymore. I've definitely seen people press super hard when they're lathering, and apparently they do it for such a long time that they just end up with this donut shaped brush because they have this hole in the middle and it is empty inside. It's all splayed. But if that's, I don't like the look of that kind of brush, and so I would try to change my technique to where I didn't cause that to happen to a brush. However, if you're a no-nonsense shaver, you don't care how a brush looks, you just care how it works, then, go for it. And then as we keep adding water and developing the lather, I'm going to be pushing the brush down into the soap again to kind of push the lather up into the knot just to circulate and get a nice even spread of water and soap kind of everywhere so that it all has a chance to mix nicely. About a 24-hour growth is what I'm going to be shaving today, so a standard amount. I want to guess that maybe 20 milliliters of water is 18 to 20 is probably what's going to be needed for today's lather, but that is just a guess. I'm just going to watch my lather and see what it looks like it needs. It's already looking pretty kind of melty. And it's starting to firm up. So obviously we had some wet spots and some dry spots, and now we've averaged them together. The lather looks very nice. As you can see, look at that shelf right there. It's holding itself up. Sometimes that means I need to keep adding water. See, it's holding on to its structure pretty well. And so I think that means I can take this guy a little further. Each soap base is different. Don't think I need to take this one quite as far as I often do with, soaps like Sterling. I don't think this one quite has the creaminess that Sterling is able to offer while it is very well hydrated. But this is a very, very good soap base that does give you good slickness. It feels nice on the face, even if maybe it doesn't quite feel so luxurious to the fingers. You know, if you take it as far as I do, you can of course shorten the water and not load quite as much in there, and you'll get a better creamy face finger feel. But then to me, that usually makes it feel a little dry on the face. All right, I think this guy's looking pretty good. Ah, see, there we go. We're starting to see some weight due to the water added, some viscosity, some very elastic viscosity there. All right, I think that, let's go ahead and stop there today. I think it's probably just right. Should have really weighed my soap before this whole thing started, just to see about usage, you know, but I think I've done a test on this base. No, maybe I haven't. No, I think I did. 2 years ago when I used it during Lather games, during Austere August, then I think I did weigh it. And it did very well. Nice, maybe, I think almost a year of shaves if you lather it like I do and use just a little bit each time. All right, got my face wet. So let's start working this lather in. So there are still a majority of tips in this brush that have not split yet. So that means it's going to get softer and softer. And I think that has got to be what attracts people to the Omega brushes, is that eventually, after a while, those tips do split. And they really like that softness and that experience. Because my other Omega brushes I have not really enjoyed when they're young. My Smogs and Zenith I have enjoyed while young. And so I'm really curious to see whether some of the brushes that I am enjoying during their uses 30 and 40, that kind of thing, am I going to enjoy those same brushes when they're, 230, 330? Then will these little stubborn children, like the other Omegas, the Sterling Bore, this one, are they going to become the superstars, the chosen ones when they get older, because maybe they're made more to give better backbone with those softer tips? Who knows? And then when the knot kind of starts to empty out in the center a little bit, you can feel it being a little bit less creamy. Obviously, I don't have an overwatered lather, right? So that elasticity that you saw can definitely take it to that point and maybe a little bit further. I'd say I almost have it perfect. See, not a lot of excess is being generated around the brush here, around my goatee, just a little bit of excess. And that's good, because see, I can wipe it off like that, move the excess around. And I think we've had it on long enough to have it kind of work into my skin. And look, that's 6 seconds of loading, and I've got a whole bowl full of lather. Plenty enough for the 4 passes plus that I'm going to need. All right. Just a little tuggy, not too bad. So I'm just kind of going to zip down kind of quick, and this will take off that, maybe the top half of the bristles, the stubble. I don't know how much it's taken off, but I do know that a lot of times a tuggy pass takes off enough to where the next pass is radically different. All right, a little partial rinse. One thing I've been doing lately is a very partial rinse, just kind of one splash on the face. Especially if you're trying to kind of keep some lather resident on your face, because maybe you didn't mix up a lot of extra lather. Now that's not the case here, but for me at this point it's just a time savings. Just a little splash and off we go. Cross grain. This must be that side with the bend on it, because that actually was more tuggy than the first pass. Again, just kind of quick. I'm doing a little bit more buffing than I did the first time, because in some areas it's very comfortable. There we go. And let's work up that third pass. So far the lather seems to be just right. So I'm about to put a third pass on, and I still have that much lather inside. So 6 seconds is plenty. Wow. Didn't really see that coming. I really thought I was going to see a difference. And I was going to, 6 seconds might be my stopping point. But as you can see, it's not being skimpy at all. I've got just kind of excess that I'm having to find places for on my face, Cross grain again. And this is when it starts to get really nice and comfy and fun. Extra fun, because you can feel the blade, you're shaving, you've got that shaving experience, and I've got this great lather that's nice and slick, and I know that I'm going to have a good experience with it. I really have to make a big mistake to cut myself with it. And this is a nice hydrated lather, and so I've got, secondary slickness is nice. Just feel like buffing the area, just go ahead and do it. The razor's moving quickly, there's no drag. Very nice. Really like that feel. So putting on the fourth pass of lather, and I still have plenty. Wow. And I don't think my cheeks are going to need any more than this. For sure. Peter reminded me in a recent comment, at that time, probably my most recent shave, he said 8 shaves to go, and he's remembering that the other guy on Reddit that kind of surpassed me after I stopped at about 407 or something like that, Myrna 183 on Reddit. He had a different blade that he was pushing hard, and he stopped at about 426, I think. And so that is where I'm headed. Let's go ahead and let's just take let's not even do a rinse, and just I forgot to do my against the grain work right there. Just kind of moving quickly. And here's the cleanest side, the one without the bend. If I come at it at a couple different angles instead of just a straight head on against the grain, then it gets me that closeness without nagging irritation. But even then, if I build up a little irritation, I think some guys just deal with that, and even mine doesn't last longer than the shave, unless I just really gouge myself. I think maybe if I were to try to do an against the grain shave, maybe on the second pass, maybe even the third, then I might get some irritation that lasts longer than the shave. Probably some cuts too. All right, and one of the great things about using as little soap as I do, and you see my lathers, they're plentiful, they're slick. I just feel that slickness through the shave. And here right now, I had to take a break. I didn't put anything on my face after the shave, and I don't have any dryness, no that shrinking feeling as kind of your face dries out. Face feels great. So very nice. And then we'll go ahead and put on the Chiseled Face Midnight Stag Splash. And we'll see how my family likes it today. Happy with the closeness of the shave. It's not baby butt smooth by any means. I do see length on a few tips, but that's not too bad at all. Considering the comfort, I just nothing. Only that first pass, the first and second pass, felt a little tuggy, but it disappeared right away. And then the rest of them were great. Face feels great now. No tenderness was built up or anything like that. We're in the second week of the Midnight Stag Challenge, and so I'm going to do 2 sprays on each arm. And let's see what I ended up using in terms of water. About 17 milliliters. All right. And there we go. And after everything was said and done, 4 passes and a little bit extra, we still have 2, probably 3 passes of lather right here in the bowl. You know what an experiment might be to, now see at this point, because it's been a little while, I'm starting to see the lather dry out just a tiny bit, some airiness and some light micro bubbling you can kind of see around, but I guarantee it's still a great lather, and most people don't shave as long as I do anyway. But this is a lather that's been around now for like 50 minutes, so it's doing its job. And yeah, here we go. You can kind of see it right there along there too. But nothing wrong with that. What I may experiment with next time is a really long mix. You know, like I might just start a movie and just mix for a while. I'll do the same thing I did today, but just once I feel like I've got the right amount of water, like mix for an extra 5 minutes. I'll pause you guys so you don't have to wait around that long. But and just see if I experience a different lather. That might be fun. All right. You know, I've always been a person conscientious about certain things, and when I do towel strop these brushes, I'm always careful to try to rotate the brush. I notice my fingers are up, I might strop them this way for a while, turn 90 degrees, drop them that way, so we get a left, right, up, down, a nice stretch, you know, and so the display should be even. But with these brushes that are showing a very slow change over time, with me just working them pretty hard, I don't think I need to worry about that, to be honest with you, because it just they seem to be so sturdy and hanging on to their shape and stuff that I don't think any me trying to balance out the directions is going to make a difference to it. Well, that 6 seconds makes me definitely think I could go to 5. You know what I need to do, and I didn't even think about that until this very shave. I need to go 2 years ago and look at my shave data, my database, and see what load time I had during that. I might have to do that, and obviously I'm going to see where I drilled down and where I kind of stopped and leveled off. I was using, I believe, a B2 bore from Zenith, and it'll be interesting to see if it was the same formulation. It was the same tallow formulation. It was the newer label, but I believe the formula was the same for the actual soap base. And I'm almost certain I got down to 7 seconds, maybe 10. So I wonder if that Zenith brush had softer tips, and so it didn't pull up the soap quite as easily, because I definitely used it every day. That's really interesting, because it's firmly in my mind. I got down to 7, and I think it was it was doable, but by that 3rd or 4th pass, I was kind of starting to worry about not having enough, like trying to budget it on my face and that kind of thing. So it was definitely doable, but I just like I like the higher amount, like 10 seconds, I think, of loading when I check to be sure. So, and what a good comparison that would be, a long-term comparison, you know, a whole month of uses with the B2 versus a month of uses with this Omega. Does this one just pick up the lather a lot more? Was there a base difference? I might have to contact Mr. Chiseled Face and see if there was a base difference. Anyway, there we go. That's today's shave. Wonderful scents all around. Cleaned up my gear. Let me put a dot on my little index card, and I'll check and see if I need to put another dot. Like I said, check the description if you're really curious about the number of uses. But we're not maybe a week away from beating my buddy Myrna 183 with his usage, and he did it with another blade. So it's not just the Nacet that's magic. I've definitely seen an influx, an increase in people using the Nacet over the time where I've been really marathoning it pretty hard. But you know, pole silvers will do it. Feathers will even do it. The Astras and the Gillette 7 o'clocks and the Gillette Platinums, Gillette Silver Blues, you know, all those will do it. People have done it with those blades, so it's not a magic blade. To me, it still seems like a good technique. Wet lathers, drying the blade between uses seem maybe really important. All right, there we go. Guys, take care. It's been a good shave. My face feels great, smells good, and I hope there's been something in this shave to help you guys out with your own shaving journey. Nope, we're not quite halfway through August. After halfway is when I start, wait, have I tested everything I want to test out? You know, is there something else I want to test? We'll see. All right, guys, take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Bye.